requirements implemented early in the surge and small increases in vaccinations. Steve Gregory, Kfi News.
Health officials in Orange County have reported the county's first COVID-19 death of a child younger than 5. Deputy County Health Officer Dr. Regina Chinzio Kwong says the best thing parents can do is make sure everyone around their child is vaccinated.
Continue to protect yourselves when you go out and about. Wearing a mask, using precautions, keeping a distance, being in well-ventilated areas, using hand sanitizer, and encouraging your child to do the same.
She says the death is the county's second from COVID of a child under 18. Both children had underlying medical conditions. President Biden and the First Lady have visited junior high in Washington, D.C. to talk about how following the science and CDC health guidelines will keep students safe at school during the pandemic. Biden says he knows how hard it has been for kids to learn from home for the past year and a half.
It's not just academics. It's the friendship and the socialization, and maybe equally as consequential. You know, it's access to critical services like meals, school counseling, and that helps the students stay physically and mentally alert.
Biden says he wants regular COVID tests done at school and 100% of educators vaccinated against the virus. Former President Trump has released a video commemorating the 20th anniversary of 9/11. The video is made up of highlights from Trump's 4 presidential speeches memorializing the attack and praising the heroic response from first responders.
In the wake of the September 11th attacks, courageous Americans raced into smoke, fire, and debris in lower Manhattan, the Pentagon, Ivy Field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania.
Trump was in New York the day the World Trade Center towers fell. From the Southern California Square to the Area Shopping Center, we make it easy. Crash on the 405 in Westminster.
This one's on the southbound side, and it's coming right up on Bolsa Road. That's where the 3 right lanes are blocked off, and big delay here. It's just a really tough drive. Overall slowing, leaving the 105 freeway. So watch out. Now, Lisa Michael Bryan, KFI on the side, sponsored by injury attorney Superwoman, superlawyer.com.
Yeah, tough drive to the 405 in Orange County. The 405 northbound at Culver. A little before Culver, just past University. They are still on the right shoulder on that wreck. So no longer lanes blocked, but still unusual stretch of slowing there. PDL 401 back to Irvine Center Drive. Now up ahead, more typical slowing starting at about Bristol on and off the bridges of Fountain Valley and almost into Huntington Beach to the South Beach Boulevard. You're heading out through the Santa Ana Canyon. Not doing that quickly. 91 eastbound. Jamming up there, just approaching Imperial Highway. Go past Imperial. Push starts heavy over to Green River, and then again through Corona, a real sticky wicket. That's going to load up there. Some Surface Club over through the 15 into Riverside. Injured in an accident, visit Superwoman, superlawyer.com. Mike O'Brien, KFI in the sky.
Porter Ranch, the 118 heading eastbound to Lake from DeSoto, taking you in stretches to the 5. KFI in the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Angel Martinez.
Going to be hot this weekend. We'll tell you just how hot next.
Homeowners, you hear the news every day. Rates go up and rates go down. While the economy struggles to recover, rising inflation rears its ugly head. Stop banging your head against the wall. Mortgage rates are again at all-time lows. That's right, rates are at all-time lows. Put a bit of cash back in your pocket with a refi from True Mortgage. Get a 15-year fix at just 1.75%, 2.140% APR. Even better, True Mortgage will cover your title, escrow, and appraisal fees. Qualification is fast and simple. Keep more of your hard-earned money and boost your savings. Lock in a lifetime of true value today with the lowest rates ever offered at 800-620-1162. That's 800-620-1162. 800-620-1162. Or visit TrueNow.com. Sign on the licensed DBA True Mortgage is an equal housing lender. Terms and conditions apply. All loans subject to underwriting approval and not all applicants will qualify. Loans made or arranged pursuant to a California finance law license number 60-DBO-44713 and MLS number 1626699.
Take a look at your legs. Are your veins twisty, bulging, painful, and embarrassing? West Medical offers the latest minimally invasive solutions to erase varicose veins fast. Varicose veins are caused by broken valves, and they don't heal on their own, so don't wait. Call 1-800-WEST-MED for a private consultation. Treatments are covered by most PPO insurance, and they also offer great financing. Call 1-800-WEST-MED or visit westmedical.com today.
I feel incredible because I called 1-800-WEST-MEDICAL.
The KFI Financial Report brought to you by Bay Alarm. Dow closed down 272, S&P 500 down 35, NASDAQ down 133, and the average price per gallon of regular gas in California is $4.39.
With a range of commercial fire and security solutions, Bay Alarm can protect it all with just one call.
Southland weather from KFI. Hot tomorrow, 70s at the beaches, mid-80s to mid-90s for Metro LA, 90 to 104 in the valleys, 95 for Inland OC, 97 to 102 in the IE. Same for your Sunday. Right now, 75 in Seal Beach, 84 in Costa Mesa, 91 in North Hollywood, and 66 in Santa Monica. We lead local live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Deborah Mark.
Johnny Ken Show, John Cobell and Ken Shampoo, KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Well, welcome to the big 5 o'clock hour for the end of the week. The Moist Line people are just about 15 minutes from now. There's 2 rounds of them. They just sound off, and whatever they're worked up about during the past week, we'll play you their calls. In between the 2 rounds, we do have a hack for the dumpster. Svetlana, the mob members are here. They'll help us throw this hack into the dumpster. Intelligent choice this week, particularly with the development that occurred a week ago and then yesterday concerning the criminal justice system in the state of California. This particular hack has been trying to make it easier and easier on criminals for far too many years. We actually had an encounter with them on air about 3 years ago that we'll play part of. And then we'll get this person. All his policies let criminals out early, and they end up killing people. Yeah. That's what this guy does. Makes it easier for innocent people to die. You get them re-elected every year for decades. There you go, figure. So, news outlets around the country are trying to figure out what's a interesting angle to cover the recall of Gavin Newsom out there in crazy California. What can we do that might be a little different, but seems really right on in terms of topicality? Well, a writer by the name of Lisa Bonos from the Washington Post has a headline, Climate Change, Inequality, and a Recall Vote, How the French Laundry Embodies California. Yeah, this is a keeper. One of the most expensive restaurants in the nation embodies the whole state. Notice she could have written an article on all the businesses that were closed, all the kids that were thrown out of school, how the unemployment department got backed up with millions and millions of claims. That's real world, real people suffering. But instead it's like, climate change and inequality at the French Laundry, how that embodies the state. It's like, all right, how far out of touch can you be? She explains it this way. We're reading ahead here, but let's start with the difficulty of snagging a table. If you're not a government official or a high-priced lobbyist, you'll have to get the old-fashioned way. Reservations for the entire month open at 10 a.m. Pacific on the first day of the previous month. So if you want a table for November, set your alarm now and recruit a handful of friends with fast fingers to try to book a table on October 1st. Before you're charged to simply your credit card, and yes, diners are charged up front. The French Laundry has whetted your appetite with anticipation. There's nothing more delicious than exclusivity. When you finally arrive and drive right past it without noticing, this one tourist said, I thought it would be on a mountainside. You're reminded that California wealth is subtle. Like the tech billionaire who shows up to dinner in jeans and flip-flops, or the celebrity who lives in a quaint Venice bungalow. The French Laundry's exterior is not showy. From the street, the large dark gray house, the first level covered in ivy and shades drawn, obscuring the faces of whoever is dining inside, is well appointed but not extravagant. The sign out front is easily blocked when a stretch limo stops by to drop off patrons. The opulence at the French Laundry kicks in once you're inside. The food, the wine, the service. Then she gets into this thing about whether to sit inside or outside, and apparently they do charge more if you want to sit outside. $450 a person. $450, $350 if you want to sit inside. We get through talking about the air quality, and of course we're about 150 miles, she said, from the Dixie Fire, one of the largest in state history. But now here she goes with the woke crowd. California's low-income residents and people of color are disproportionately exposed to pollution from vehicles. Poorer Californians are less likely to be able to afford portable air purifiers or expensive air filtration systems.
They're more likely to have jobs if you put outdoors and exposed.
Wait, you gotta love this. She's talking about rich people like this one, who pay $4.50 to eat outdoors in the fresh air, up in the mountains, the wine country. And that gears into, well, poor people can't afford air purifiers.
That's right. Wealthier residents can flee to second homes or vacation rentals when the air gets bad.
Okay.
And poor people cannot.
Wow, she just discovered this? She just discovered that wealthier people live better than poor people. I never noticed that. Did you notice that? Did you notice poor people don't eat outdoors for $4.50 a plate? Never would have occurred to me.
Then she talks about food insecurity. One of your favorite terms. Most Californians were not dining at Michelin-starred restaurants during the pandemic. Many weren't even getting enough to eat. A team of UCLA researchers found that in the first 3 months of the pandemic, 3 million adults in California lacked sufficient food. A 22% increase since before the pandemic. This is the part of the show where John is, and how come I see some of these fat people?
How come I see so many fat people if everyone is so food insecure? How does that work? Nobody seems to be food insecure.
The rise in food insecurity is a part of the reason Newsom's dinner at the French Laundry nearly a year ago struck so many as tone deaf.
Okay, can I stop her there? First of all, nobody uses the term food insecurity, and most people have no idea what it means. It has nothing to do with the reason that people got pissed off about his photo at the French Laundry. They got pissed off because he had ordered everybody to wear masks. You can't eat indoors. In fact, restaurants were closed for indoor and outdoor dining. He closed outdoor dining just 3 weeks later.
Yes.
From the day he went to the French Laundry. And then you had the photograph come out.
So, you know, if he had eaten at like a Friday, it would still be a story. You're right. But because it was the French Laundry with the lobbyists, it really took it over
It
the
was
top.
lobbyists. It was them not wearing masks. And still nobody asks him, you were telling everybody this was a horribly deadly disease. We all should be afraid. We're all going to die. Hospitals overloaded. Blah, 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 blah. You're the one who said that. How come you weren't afraid? How come the 21 other thugs you were having dinner with weren't afraid?
He writes, California is one of the highest measures of income inequality in the country. Only 5 other states have bigger gaps between the wealthiest and the low-income families. Much of that disparity comes through in the fancy homes and flashy cars that overshadow those who are hungry and homeless. But it's also reflected in who can afford the luxury of time, be it a 5-hour meal or a 2-week vacation. Who can outsource their child care, their cooking, and their shopping, and who's providing those services. You know, when she makes this point, I do agree that the state has incredible income disparity. But this crowd that lives at the top of the people we're talking about here, especially the tech people that go to the French Laundry, they're the ones that vote for these idiots.
Yeah, they
They have destroyed this state, drove out the middle class.
That's an interesting critical test. Why do wealthy people vote for politicians that turn San Francisco into a store? Why do they do that? Why do wealthy people in San Francisco elect politicians who made it one of the most disgusting cities in America? That's an interesting story. Now, this next paragraph is what got me.
When you were talking about, right?
Listen to this. On the night that I visited the French Laundry, the staff was predominantly white.
Capital W.
Capital W, white. Experts who study the leisure and hospitality industries note that this is typical of the fine dining world, which leans heavily white, capital W, and male, small m, while casual and fast food workers are typically women and people of color. According to a Cal Matters assessment of race, of how race intersects with wages, 56% of the state's low-wage workers were Hispanic, 27%. It is a whole bunch of statistics. Cal Matters found in the beginning of the pandemic, the low-wage workers were hit hardest with job losses. Well, of course they were, because Newsom closed down the restaurants and the hotels where the low-wage workers worked.
Right.
He ruined their lives. He didn't ruin the lives of the people who work at Google and Facebook. He ruined the lives of the people who work in fast food restaurants and casual dining restaurants.
ruin their lives. And Newsom is white with a capital W, by the way. All right, well, if you get a chance to read this, it's pretty amusing.
Yeah.
The Washington Post writer who's decided to compare the French Laundry restaurant to the problems with California's class divides, particularly that they have so many poor people.
By the way, the writer Lisa Bonos in her bio says, Lisa Bonos writes about dating and relationships for the features department. So you can see she's a genius.
All right, coming up next,
Dating and relationships.
we'll take a stop and visit the Voice Line people.
John and Ken, KFI, Deborah Marquez news.
4 students from Hart High School in Santa Clarita have been arrested in a weapons investigation on campus. Cops say a gun was found on one of the kids Wednesday. A 14-year-old girl has been arrested for taking a loaded handgun onto the campus of a high school in Moreno Valley. It happened yesterday at Canyon Springs High. An appeals court in Florida has reinstated the governor's ban on mask mandates in schools. We have trouble on the 101, and we will check in with the KFI in the Sky next.
Have you been denied a home loan or refinance because you're self-employed, earn 1099 income, or even a real estate investor? You're missing out. Most lenders make approval seem impossible, especially if you're self-employed. Stop watching everyone take advantage of the lowest mortgage rates in history while you're stuck on the sidelines. Accelerate Capital, the premier lender designed for the self-employed. Our approval process is based on common sense, using bank statements, 1099 income, profit loss statements, rental income, or even stated income to qualify at the lowest rates available. Fast. Conventional lenders cannot do this. When others say no, we say yes. Call 800-811-9702, 800-811-9702, or visit acceleratecapital.com.
EXCEME, acceleratecapital.com.
Equal housing lender. Call for details. NMLS ID number 1165716. Not all will qualify. California DFCI license number 41DDO 45150. Additional restrictions may apply. Loans made or loans pursuant to the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act.
We have a crash on the 101 in Newberry Park. Boy, this one is really tough for both directions of the 101. The crash is on the northbound side, just before the Conejo Scale. That's where this wreck is blocking the left lane, and it's pushing the drive back all the way from just about the 23. So what heads up there now on the southbound side, there's another problem. Looks like it's a separate crash, and it is before the scale. This one blocking lanes as well. Delays backing up all the way from the outlets in Camarillo. Now we're going to check in with Mike O'Brien. He's got the latest in Seal Beach. KFI in the Sky, sponsored by Injury Attorney, SuperwomanSuperLawyer.com.
And a very tough drive for the 405 Angel. 405 southbound right at the split with the 22, so just a little past Seal Beach Boulevard. It is now just the far right lane that is blocked, but they're saying maybe a half hour, another hour on this, so it's probably going to be here a while. It is now bumper to bumper into Long Beach, and at that point it is catching normal swing that goes way back, pretty much leaving LAX starting at the 105. And really that only leaves a little gap there for the west side swing that starts on that South 405, just about Wilshire Boulevard, heading down towards La Tijera on that stretch. Northbound side of the 405, looks like you're on the brakes there from just before the 10 out of Culver City. Pretty tough on the way, pretty much all the way up into San Fernando. Injured in an accident, visit SuperwomanSuperLawyer.com. Mike O'Brien, KFI in the Sky.
KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Angel Martinez.
Income-eligible renters impacted by COVID-19 can now get 100% of their past due rent and utility bills paid through the California COVID-19 Rent Relief Program. Landlords with tenants who haven't paid rent because of COVID-19 are eligible for 100% reimbursement too. The application is fast, your information is private, and you won't be asked about citizenship. Apply at housingwithkey.com before eviction protections end on September 30th. Brought to you by the California Department of Housing and Community Development.
There's never been a better time to switch to Spectrum Mobile. You can save hundreds of dollars on your mobile bill. Plus, there are no added taxes, hidden fees, and no contracts. Try the Spectrum Mobile Savings Calculator today, and with 3 easy steps, you'll see how much you could save by switching. Visit SpectrumMobile.com/save. Spectrum Internet required. Savings may vary. Restrictions apply. Visit SpectrumMobile.com/save for details.
Impact Mortgage Corp. DBA Cash Call Mortgage. NMLS ID 12823 Glossing on license and office in New York. Offer fees for loans over $250,000. Call 855-657-9910 for licensing terms and restrictions.
What's better than a mortgage interest rate and APR in the twos? How about a no closing cost mortgage loan with an interest rate and APR in the twos? That's right. We have no closing cost loans here at Cash Call Mortgage. We pay the title, escrow, and appraisal fees. So if you're looking to save a little cash on your monthly mortgage payment, call Cash Call Mortgage today. Our quotes are always free. If your mortgage rate APR is not in the twos, Cash Call Mortgage could lower your interest rate and save you some cash. What are you waiting for? With low rates and no closing cost options, now is the time to refinance your mortgage. For a free quote to see if you qualify, go to cashcallmortgage.com or call us today. Call 800-633-0861. That's 800-633-0861.
800-633-0861. Pick up a quick and easy. You'll also get a vacation voucher and a tax deduction.
Also accepting real estate donations.
You remind me of a guy in high school who took my girlfriend, then went on to the next school. You still think you're better than everyone else. You shut down public schools while your kids went to private school. Even now you live by different rules. You closed tiny coffee shops while you ate dinner at the fanciest restaurant. $12,000 for one. You've lost touch with reality. This is not about political parties. It is about you, Gavin Newsom.
Gavin Newsom, dude, wake up. Look at all the homeless. You've gone through $500 billion, and where did it go? And why did you raise the gas tax again? Newsom, you cost me my job twice. But the money meant to the unemployed like me, you paid the scammers. I'm a Democrat, and I want you, Gavin Newsom, out.
Ads paid for by Larry Elder, Ballot Measure Committee. Recall Newsom. Committee major funding from Elders for President 2021.
Two airplanes have crashed into the World Trade Center in an apparent terrorist attack on our country.
I'm Steve Gregory. The attacks of 9/11 forever changed America. It also marked the beginning of the war on terror. Join me for 9/11, 2 decades later, an exploration of decisions made to make Americans safer. And we'll attempt to answer the question, is America safer today than 20 years ago?
Tomorrow at 3 and 8 p.m. on KFI.
More stimulating talk.
John Kent Show, John Coda, Ken Shampo, KFI Am 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Well, an indication that maybe they were feeling the heat. The El Segundo Times has posted a story this afternoon that LAPD is seeking the woman in the Larry Elder attack as the supporters claim a double standard. This is the woman in the gorilla mask on a bicycle who in Venice the other day threw an egg at Larry Elder and then got very hostile with some of Larry Elder's staff. The gorilla mask is what's at question here. Of course, a source at LAPD says it didn't seem that she had any racist intent. She was not motivated by hate. In a video taken at the scene. But, well, they are looking for her.
There were people among the protesters dropping the N-word, and
that's what we heard, yeah.
Because
our guest.
Our guest. What was her name?
It's
I forgot her name. Soledad, the Shora. She came on, and she was quoted more extensively in one of the local media outlets as saying there were all kinds of racist insults being heaped on her and another woman and they're both on the local council there, neighborhood council.
Yes, Larry Elder told Fox News later that day racial epithets were yelled during the melee.
Yeah. So it's just funny. It's just, the gorilla mask prompted conservative commentators to suggest the incident was racially motivated. Oh, believe me, if he was a black Democrat, the LA Times would have had racist attack against Larry Elder. They would have declared it a fact in the headline, not suggested. Commentators suggested.
All right, let's bring out the Moist Line, folks. See what they got to say in round one. 1-877-MOIST-86.
Hey, this is John. And this is Ken. We're so excited to hear from you. It's about time.
I'm so tired of my tax money being spent to get people out to vote. They are registered to vote. If they get something in the mail that says time to vote, they're too stupid to go out and vote than let them just sit there and not vote. I'm sick and tired of all.
Yeah, come on. Give me a break, Pelosi, running the country. God, you're putting us all in danger.
I moved to Utah, but I had to travel to California. The route went through Sacramento, so I went by the Capitol, screamed down at that idiot you guys have for a governor. And when I go back tomorrow, I'll go by again.
Joe Biden is corn pop.
Hey, John, if you prefer more antibodies than less, which implies that 3 shots are better than 2, maybe the people who are seeing the horse farmer tube into their bodies are applying your logic. Driving on the 405, going south, right before you see the Venice Boulevard sign, there's an overpass. Somebody wrote in red to get rid of nuisance, and also on the sides of those big pillars wrote how many people died because of this jerk. I love that area. I was so happy.
Well, I guess all you did do for them was sucking off the government for the last year, getting your extra money from unemployment. Well, that's over. You're done. Go get a job. You deadbeat.
One thing I find most disheartening after all this Afghanistan stuff are the military leaders. I don't know if there's very many on record. The only ones I know that are on record are those that are retired. But you don't hear any of the ones that are currently active in the military, the generals, those big guys, talking about it. The only reason I think they don't is because they're just afraid that they'll lose their retirement. What a shame. They're supposed to serve their country, not themselves.
I filed 2 ballots this morning, my ballot and one for my ex-wife. I wrote in her name on my ballot, hoping that maybe she'll be elected governor and she'll have to move to Sacramento. If that's the only way I can get rid of her. Anyway, sorry about that, Larry.
Hi, this is the dog that Deborah left running around in the streets to get hit and maybe run over by a car. But no, she didn't pull over to help me to try to find my way home. She just left me out there. And then she tries a half a day to pick up another nut without even taking time to help me. I was in dire straits. I was in need. I could have been hurt out there.
You know, the one thing that confuses me about folks who are just adamant about not taking the vaccine for COVID is that some of those very same people won't think twice about smoking, ingesting, or injecting something they buy from a guy on a bike through a car window. Tell me how that makes sense.
It's obvious that in 2018, Jerry Brown changed the voting laws so that the communist labor unions could do the ballot harvesting.
Shame on Republican Abbott. Shame on him. Shame on all those other Republicans, McCarthy, Green, Gap, all of them. It will backfire. Honestly, it will backfire.
So this employee slipped under the radar. Hulu has raised their rates by $1 per subscriber. That equates to $42 million more per month. I'm so tired of hearing that term, living wage. You can work for minimum wage and live. You're still rich. If you want the good stuff, get a better education, get a better job. Don't stuff to keep raising minimum wage. It's just stupid.
First of all, I'm really bummed that it looks like Gavin will not be recalled, but it bums me out even more that I found out today that Biden, he's coming out too. They have nothing better to do.
Kamala's in California now. Maybe someone should give her a little ride down to the border. Or I guess she fixed that problem because the news doesn't talk about it anymore.
Thank you for leaving your message. Please hang up. Goodbye.
All right, there you go. Let's tell the voice line people there's another half coming at the end of the show. When we look at a poor dog, though. Yeah, you should. That's sad. Dog.
I'm over that. Please.
He was left on the side of the road. You invited that the other day.
So I'm not going to come in.
Some dogs you drive away from, some dogs you drive the president for. One ugly dog that you.
That's not true.
Not gonna done. Are you ready for the news, or are you having a?
I'm always ready.
You having a moment? Deborah Mark has more.
Electricity Board says there have been 590 497 vehicle pursuits this year compared to 484 last year, an increase of 23%. He says auto theft and shootings are the top causes of those car cases.
961 as of the 28th shooting victims were 721 last year. That's a 33% increase. In over a 2-year period, it's a 45% increase.
In car chases, I should have said. Morrison's department is always reevaluating how officers engage in chases. A man from Long Beach has been sentenced to 4 years in state prison for a crash that killed a man in a wheelchair. The disabled man was in an unmarked crosswalk in June when he was hit. He had been pushing a cart full of his belongings across Spring Street. The driver was convicted of gross vehicular manslaughter while intoxicated. 22 young women in Wisconsin involved in the stabbing of a classmate. The police, the horror character Slender Man is said to be let out Monday from a mental health facility. Anissa Wire is 19 and has been at the facility for almost 4 years. She egged on her friend to repeatedly stab another girl in 2014. All 3 girls were 12 at the time. Russia has accused American tech companies of election meddling. ABC's Connor Finnegan says Russia has been pressuring social media giants like Twitter over content critical of the Kremlin.
Russian state media says U.S. Ambassador John Sullivan was summoned on Friday, meeting with Russia's deputy foreign minister and presented with, quote, irrefutable evidence of election interference.
The U.S. Ambassador Sullivan met with the deputy foreign minister to discuss a range of bilateral matters. From the Southern California Toyota Dealer Shopping Center, we make it easy to have on the 55 in Santa Ana. This one's on the southbound side at MacArthur Boulevard. It's blocking the 2 right lanes. The race here overall backing up away from 17th Street out of the Tustin, Santa Ana area. Now let's check in with Michael O'Brien, KFI on the Sky, sponsored by Injury Attorney, superwoman.superlawyer.com. Check him out after dinner.
Yeah, it's been a good pass of the 2 points. The 2 points in Santa goes up just out of downtown Pasadena. It's a very heavy over towards Irwindale, and there's a little problem sitting there on the right shoulder. And up ahead of that, you've got more points over 57 over to that Fruit Street. It's going to loosen up a bit, and then by time from baseline up to the way to the 15. Problems out of the front corner, we also are on the 10 east side. Just about the other side of the avenue. Looks like it's east of the 3 o'clock. Is always giving up on that stretch of Sierra. And before we get that far, we get some pretty choppy stuff on and off going. So from Mona to the Kellogg interchange, much of the way into Foxborough. This is the ambassador to the Superwoman, superlawyer.com. I'll go down KFI in the Sky.
KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster.
Looking for your next investment? Want to cash out of stock market risk and volatility? Here are 8 reasons to consider NRIA's proven real estate development fund. Monthly cash flow payout of 10% annualized and bonuses of 21%
It is Bear, the most extreme game of all.
in lower risk, high demand areas people are moving to. New construction is short on supply. Real estate affords diversification and safety from stock market risk and volatility. We have substantial property assets selling out every month supporting the investment. Our short and long-term strategy provides for steady returns today and major upside growth. Our building is safely responsible, designed to manage and pandemic health. We are an industry leader with a 15-year proven project. Take a deep inflation and receive steady cash flow. Start your due diligence at CNRA.net or call 800-800-1450. That's
800-800-1450. We live local, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Jeffrey Moore.
We're speaking on a managing partner of OPO Law, and if you think all picture is the attorney for all life, you'd be surprised. All law firms are not the same. OPO Law has a 98% success rate on over 10,000 cases we have handled. And while insurance companies continue to make lowball offers, we fight hard to get you the money you deserve. Fierce pursuit to win for you is our specialty. We don't settle your case for what the insurance company thinks it's worth. We settle your case for what we believe it's worth. For over 4 decades, we have gone to battle with the insurance companies and have obtained over $1 billion for injury victims. If you have been injured in an accident, dial pound 260, use keyword personal injury to connect to OPO Law. Remember, you don't pay until we win your case.
OPO Law, the law firm insurance companies fear most.
I'm Susan Owen, and I would be honored to handle this case.
When you dial pound 250, you'll have the option of receiving an auto-dialed text message from iHeartMedia.
Providing scalable HR services, employee benefits, payroll, and HR technology for 30-plus years. Insperity's mission is to help businesses succeed so communities prosper. Insperity, HR that makes a difference. Visit Insperity.com.
Hey, it's Dean Sharp. I am so proud that since Duffy Power came to KFI, lots of homes like yours now have emergency backup power. It's an incredibly smart and affordable thing to do. Okay, but the pandemic has everything in short supply. So right now, my best generator advice is don't wait. Call Duffy today so they can make sure your life won't be interrupted during the next outage. Dial pound 250 on your cell and say Duffy Power. Pound 250 Duffy Power, or find them on the web at duffypower.com.
Californians can return their recall ballots through September 14th. Just put your completed ballot in the postage-paid envelope, sign the back, and return by mail, at a drop box, or in person. Learn more at vote.ga.gov.
KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk. It's time for John and Ken to throw in a dumpster.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app. Well, welcome. We'll have another round of the Voice Time folks in just about 15 minutes. This week, back in a dumpster was an easy vote for the committee, and it's a story we've talked about several times this week with an update yesterday. About a week ago, a woman in the Sacramento area by the name of Mary Kate Tibbetts was murdered in her own home. The house was then set on fire, and her body burned along with two dogs that she owned.
61 years old.
61 years old. The man that's been arrested for her murder is Troy Davis, who has a long, violent criminal history and was released without bail on suspicion of auto theft in June. He did not appear for his arraignment, so I guess he was wanted. He's also described as a homeless person. And this story is resonating with people up and down the state. It is horrifying. A lot of people that live in the Sacramento area. But same time as this one's going on, we have a Democratic state legislator from the Valley who actually appeared on our show 3 years ago to talk about this very topic of the bail system. Now, last year, California voters said no to dropping the cash bail system. The legislature had voted for that, but the bail industry got the signature